Hey guys, it's me, Arnold. Remember when I used to make good movies like Terminator, I'll Be Back, and Predator, Get to the Chopper? Well, get ready for more sequels of Conan and Terminator and Predator. Wow!
I'd rather see any fucking sequel than your shitty ass impersonation.
Talk to the hand. Hey guys, it's me, Best Guy. Welcome to Best Top 5. So if you haven't guessed, today we're talking about the top 5 Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. You know, he may have made a lot of bad movies recently, you know, like Last Stand and Kill Gunther. That movie was terrible. But once upon a time, he used to make a lot of great movies in the 80s and 90s. Of course, Terminator, I'll Be Back. And then you had, you know, Running Man, Hello, Cutie Pie. I don't think anybody remembers that line that much, but I would like to be called Cutie Pie. So, but I think he has an opportunity to make good movies sometime in the future. Maybe not now. Even though in 1997 he made a pretty good movie, you know, Eyes to See You, which is Batman and Robin. That's complete garbage. We'll forget about that one. So, but we're gonna go into the top 5 movies that he made during the 80s and 90s. I don't think there's gonna be any movies here from his post-Governator era. So, number 5, See You at the Party, Richter. That's from Total Recall. Total Recall was a great movie. It was released in the 80s. It was directed by Paul Verhoeven. If you're not familiar with Paul Verhoeven, he made a lot of good movies during the 80s and 90s. Some movies like RoboCop. He also did Showgirls. We'll forget about that one. But he came back with Starship Troopers. A lot of his movies tend to have a little bit of a satire on them. Total Recall doesn't have that, but it's a great sci-fi action film. Arnold plays a guy who has a very boring life. He goes to work every day, and he wants to have excitement in his life. So he goes to this procedure where they can implant memories in his mind that can give him an opportunity to be like either a spy or go on a vacation. All these memories will be implanted. But as they're doing the procedure, he feels that he was once a spy who was in Mars. So now he has to go to Mars and goes on this adventure, and everyone's chasing him. Everyone is going after him, and we don't know exactly why. There's never a dull moment in this movie. It's never boring. It's filled with a lot of great action sequences and great visual effects for its time. There's also good use of practical effects towards the end when they're in Mars. Definitely on my top 5 list of Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. Get your ass to Mars! I think that's more iconic. Yeah. And then there's a part where Arnold, he's in Mars. Well, there's 2 scenes where he's dreaming that he's in Mars, and he falls down, tumbles, and his mask breaks. And he goes, and his eyes are like popping up, and his tongue is going, you can see his veins popping out. I love it. I mean, as I'm saying it right now, it sounds like garbage, but it's classic. It's great. So for number 4, Get Off My Plane. Well, that's right. That's from Harrison Ford, the last top 5 I did. No, numero 4 is True Lies, directed by no other than James Cameron. I think this is the closest we'll ever get to a James Bond movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, because Arnold's pretty much playing a secret agent taking down terrorists. That's all you pretty much have to know about this movie. There's nothing like spectacular in terms of the story. What's great is it has a lot of good practical effects, especially towards the third act and the climax, where you see this huge plane doing a whole bunch of crazy shit. The movie also pokes fun at how invincible Arnold is in most of his action films, and how he always has one-liners. He doesn't have as many one-liners in this movie, but he has those scenes. Oh, there's one good one-liner in True Lies, where he's punching a guy in the bathroom, there's a big fight with him, and he throws him into the toilet, and he tells him, cool off! Because you're gonna cool off in the toilet. But anyway, great movie. Not many people mention this as one of the top movies from James Cameron. Usually people mention Avatar, or Terminator, or Aliens. But True Lies is really good, and for a long time they were talking about a sequel. Maybe there will be another sequel to True Lies, who knows? And hopefully there will be a sequel that will be worth watching, unlike the sequels that he's done, like Terminator Genisys. I want to pronounce it that way because that's how they wrote it. So number 3, this is Arnold holding someone's leg over a cliff. And he's saying, Sully, remember when I promised I'll kill you last? Yeah, Major, you did! I lied! And he throws him. That movie is Commando. This movie is filled with a lot of one-liners. There's a part where he is in an airplane, and a guy who's next to him is about to kill him, and Arnold goes, Blah! He doesn't scream, I just want to edit that. He elbows him, and then the flight attendant passes by, and she says, oh, do you need a pillow? He's like, no, he's dead tired. Only Arnold can say that. Commando, it was pretty much Taken before Taken came out. And you can actually believe Arnold killing a whole bunch of people versus 65-year-old Liam Neeson, who kind of is pretending to do karate or whatever he's trying to do because they do a whole bunch of weird editing in those Taken films. This movie doesn't take itself too seriously. It's basically Arnold Schwarzenegger's character, his daughter gets kidnapped and he has to go and find her. And that's all you have to know about Commando. It's never boring. I can watch this movie a whole bunch of times and I never get tired of it. It's one of those action movies that is also lighthearted and has emotion to it in some scenes, especially with him and his daughter. And as one of the best suit-up scenes I've ever seen in a movie, where he's literally suiting up, putting a whole bunch of war makeup and applying all this shit and his guns. It's really epic, and it has some really violent action scenes. Staple Arnold Schwarzenegger movie of the 80s. If it bleeds, we can kill it. That's from Predator. If you've only seen AVP or AVPR, then get out of here and get to the chopper and watch my movie, Predator. Anyway, no. I tried, I'm trying to bring Arnie back, So, Predator, released in the 80s, is a great sci-fi action flick that, I know I always say they're great, but this is really, really good. This is like the creme of the crop. I don't put this as number one because there's other ones that are better. Arnold and a group of people are in a jungle, and there's an alien hunting them. This alien can blend, he can hide, and that's all you pretty much have to know. The thing is that the alien doesn't know that these people are kind of prepared to fight off whatever is in their way. So the director, John McTiernan, who is also the director of Die Hard, knows how to make a good action movie, knows how to put characters in the screen and you actually care about what's going on. Not like most modern action movies where it's just a guy who has skills out of nowhere. You actually know that Arnold is a trained soldier and he has previous experience with all these other people. Like at the beginning scene where he says, "Dylan, you son of a bitch." That doesn't sound like Arnold that much. Hold on. "Dylan, you son of a bitch." That sounds like a Hispanic, raspy Arnold. Anyway, so good movie. I love it. And once upon a time, the guy who was going to play Predator was actually Jean-Claude Van Damme. It looked completely different at the time. He disagreed with the producers and director of what they wanted to do with this film, but they instead went with Kevin Peter Hall in the suit. Does a great job moving around like this alien creature. It's out of this world. Great practical effects. There's also good use of CGI. This is early CGI work. I don't know if this was done by ILM or whoever did the effects for this movie. It's a shame that Arnold didn't return for the sequel. They instead went with Danny Glover. I like Predator 2, but I wish Arnold would have come back. But there's rumors that, he might have a cameo in the next Predator movie that I think is being directed by Shane Black. So we'll see what happens with that. So, number one, what could be better than Predator? What could be better than Get to the Chopper?
Junior?
Oh shit, that's right, Junior. No, Kindergarten Cop. Kindergarten Cop.
Twin.
It's not a tumor. Sit down. Ah! No, Kindergarten Cop, man.
That's number one?
It's number one. This is official. It's number one.
Damn.
I'm fuck the one that had number one. I'm kidding. Number one is Terminator. I was conflicted in putting either putting T2 on the top, maybe Terminator Genesis. I'm kidding. Fuck Terminator Genesis. It was gonna be either T1 or T2. But the thing is that as much as I like T2 for its innovation and special effects, it still holds up to today, 20 plus years later. I think it's been 30 years. It was a movie that pioneered great visual effects, but T1 did a lot of good stuff with practical effects and with the small budget that they had. James Cameron mentions in the commentary track that some of the sequences in the movie, especially towards the end, were done in guerrilla-style filmmaking because they had a small budget. And this is the movie that put Arnold in the map as the "I'll be back" guy, as the big action hero. Because before that, he had movies, of course, he had Conan, he had Hercules in New York.
That was amazing.
That's a movie where his accent's really strong, where he goes, "Dad, I'm tired of being here in the clouds. I want to be in Earth and rule." And it's a funny movie, but it's not good at all. So Arnold was also, I think, in a cameo in a TV show where he grabs a woman and he shakes her. "Don't make fun of me!" And he just throws her to the bed. If you find that footage, it exists. I don't know for what show it was, but he did have a cameo in a movie, not a movie, a TV show. It was either a TV show or a made-for-TV movie. And I think she's making fun of the size of his dick or something. And he goes, "Don't make fun of me!" And she throws her to the bed. But anyway, Terminator put him as the big guy who's, this T-800 who can destroy anything. And on top of that, it also put James Cameron on the map as a big sci-fi director. So, of course, there's other great movies that he did afterwards, but this cemented him, you know, and I can watch this movie also 100 times and never get tired of it. There's a lot of great memorable lines. There's even a line that I love where he's in this apartment, this like really dingy, shitty apartment, and the guy knocks on the door. He's like, "Hey, you got a dark calendar?" So his computer scan, he sees the options. It says, "Get out, leave me alone," and the last option is like, "Get out, asshole." He goes, "Get out, asshole." You know, so, and only Arnold can deliver that line, and you're both laughing and admiring the response that he has because he's a machine, but also has his own personality. And you have a really cool sequence, which, of course, it hasn't aged very well. Mind you, this was like 1984, where they use a mold of his head, and they're cutting around to make it so you can see his eye, and the way he moves is like it's so like stiff because it's a puppet. But Arnold does a great job in acting like that puppet. If you look close at that sequence, the way they edit it, it's moving like this, and then when he puts the glasses on, he kind of moves like this, like Mr. Roboto. So, believe it or not, also, little pop quiz, guess who played Arnold, the T-800, who was cast as a T-800 before Arnold?
Pauly Shore.
I wish, but Pauly Shore wasn't on the map yet. Encino Man wasn't out yet. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for the next Pauly Shore's top 5 movies, and it's all his filmographies. We gotta make it a top 10.
Sure.
Okay.
Just double his
movies, even the ones he hasn't made yet. So, but you guess who it was?
Danny DeVito.
You know, that's funny. That would be cool seeing like a short Terminator. No one will know he's coming.
But he's badass.
He's badass. Like, "Hey, what's going on here?" With a cigar. No, it was O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson was gonna play the
He didn't do it.
Yeah, you didn't do it. I see what you did there. He was that concept art with him as the T-800. But what happened was that at the time when they looked at the concept art and they looked at O.J., there's like, he looks like too much of a nice guy. This is true. They looked at him, he was like too much of a nice guy. Arnold did not want to play the T-800. He wanted to play the character of Reese. Can you imagine like the scene with Reese and Linda Hamilton? It's like, "I traveled to time to be with you because I love you." That would have been terrible. You know, because there's a scene where Reese is caressing her. He has a huge hand. He would just like, that's really terrible. Good thing Arnold chose to play this part because it's synonymous with who he is. You know, everyone sees him as a Terminator, and they also see him as a guy who cheated on his wife. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this top 5 list. These are the top 5 Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. There's a bunch of other ones that I love, obviously, but they just didn't make the cut. And the ones that didn't make the cut, please let me know in the comment section down below if you think those movies I didn't mention should be on this top 5 list. I'm Best Guy. Make sure to like, subscribe, share this video with all your Arnold buddies. Don't share it with Stallone. Stallone is my rival. Did you know that they actually didn't like each other at first? Arnold and Stallone? Because they were always competing with action movies, you know? Stallone would do Cobra, Arnold would do Commando, and it was always back and forth. Also, in Last Action Hero, pop quiz, you see a poster of Stallone as Commando, no, as the Terminator. In an alternate universe, Stallone is playing the Terminator.
Pop quiz.
Pop quiz. You remember that? See? I'm not the only one. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this episode. Until next time.